So this bit of breaking news just came out a few minutes ago. Of course, by the time you see this video, it'll probably be the next day because it is currently Monday, August 17th, 2020. And that is after 18 years of investigation, and I didn't even know they were still investigating. Or maybe they got a tip. They have finally indicted the two men that were involved with the murder of Jam Master Jay back in 2002. I remember when this happened. I was 13. I think I was 13 years old or about to turn 13 that year. And that was a major shocker right there because I think he was in the studio or he was leaving, and see what else we can find out. Two men have been charged in the fatal shooting of Jam Master Jay, a founding member of Run DMC and New York City hip hop legend whose death has remained unsolved for nearly 18 years. Ronald Washington and Carl Jordan have been indicted in the murder of the pioneering DJ whose real name was Jason Mizell, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York announced on Monday. Jordan, age 36, was arrested Sunday and will be arraigned on Monday. Washington, age 56, is currently serving a federal prison sentence and will be arraigned later this week. Both men are charged with the murder while engaged in narcotics trafficking and firearm-related murder, while Jordan is also facing several additional charges of narcotics distribution. Prosecutors allege that the two men walked into the famed DJ's Queen studio and killed him in a quote-unquote drug-related homicide, according to acting U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, Seth Ducharme. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his name. They walked in and murdered him in cold blood. We started investigating that case a very long time ago in the early 2000s, but there were a lot of challenges in bringing that case. The acting U.S. attorney said his office was confident that they will be able to prosecute and prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. For the crime of murder, the passage of time offers you no escape. Jordan's attorney Michael Houston declined comment to NBC News on Monday. Jam Master Jay ascended to hip-hop royalty during the 1980s as DJ for the groundbreaking Run DMC. The DJ also opened his own record label, which is best known for discovering rapper 50 Cent in the 1990s. He was shot dead in his Queens studio on August 30th, 2002 at the age of 37, with few clues for police to identify his killer for nearly the last 2 decades. Washington was first named as a suspect in Jay's death in 2007 in federal court documents that allege Washington was the armed accomplice of a second unidentified gunman. The documents also allege that Washington was a suspect in the fatal 1995 shooting of Randy Walker, a close associate of the late rapper Tupac Shakur, according to the Associated Press. In a sworn statement from 2007, Washington denied the allegations and claimed hostile detectives had hounded him about the slaying of his quote-unquote childhood friend Mizell. Federal prosecutors allege in new filings released on Monday that both men entered the studio at about 7:30 p.m. with firearms. Washington allegedly pointed his firearm at an individual located inside the studio and demanded that the person lie on the floor, according to the office of the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District. Jordan allegedly approached the DJ and fired 2 shots at close range, striking Jam Master Jay once in the head, killing him. The investigation revealed that the motive for the killing resulted from Mizell's previous acquisition of approximately 10 kilograms of cocaine from a narcotic supplier in the Midwest. Jam Master Jay allegedly told Washington before his death that he would not be involved in distributing the drugs in Maryland. At a brief hearing held via video conference on Monday, Jordan pled not guilty to the charges. Prosecutors asked the judge to order him held without bail, alleging that he was the triggerman in the DJ's killing and posed a continued risk to the community. In October of 2002, he walked into Jason Mizell's studio, a fixture in the Hollis community, and executed him. There is not a reasonable set of conditions that can assure the community will be kept safe. Mazurek said Jordan did not have an extensive criminal record, but noted that the indictment alleges that he sold cocaine to an undercover ATF agent in 2017. Magistrate Judge Lois Bloom ordered Jordan to be remanded. His next court date was scheduled for September 17th. Both men face a minimum of 20 years in prison and a possibility of a death sentence if convicted. NYPD Chief Detectives Rodney Harrison commended the department's investigators for the relentless pursuit of justice in this case. Me being a native of Queens and being a big fan of Run DMC and Jam Master Jay, making this arrest was very, very important to me. Run DMC was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2009, commemorating the group's legacy of moving hip-hop into the mainstream through their innovative sound and ability to blend genres. The group had the first rap album to go gold and were the first rappers. Let me get back to... Oh, I'm sorry. I had a call that just came in, but back to what I was saying. It says... They also received the first Grammy Lifetime Achievement for Rap Artists in 2016 by the Recording Academy. They were also the first rap performers to have a song featured on MTV. Rapper Ice Cube honored the three men with an essay posted to the Grammys website in 2016, where he remarked that Run DMC's debut album was the first he saved up to buy with his own money. I remember when someone said hip hop was dead. I didn't believe them until I heard that they killed Jam Master Jay. Then I believed them. A part of hip-hop died that night, but the spirit lives on. NBC News has reached out to representatives for Run DMC surviving members Joseph Simmons and Daryl Matthews McDaniels for comment on the case's developments. Well, I can honestly say that I'm glad that they were able to finally capture these individuals for the role they played in this man's untimely murder, because that's basically what it was. I remember when it, like I said, when it happened back then. And I'll be honest, at the age of 13, I wasn't too really familiar with who he was, but when they said he was a member of Run DMC, now I was familiar with that and everything like that. And I was like, oh wow, that's messed up and everything like that. I said, I hope that they catch him, but I'm gonna be honest, I forgot all about the investigation. I'm guessing, it definitely had to have gone cold to the point where they kind of stopped. They definitely stopped talking about it. But when I saw this notification pop up on my phone, I said, oh, this is very interesting. And I said, 2002, that was so long ago. It's amazing how fast time just simply flies. But I'm glad that they found and discovered the two individuals that was involved with his murder. And we'll see what goes forward, with this. But it seems to me like these are the two right here for sure that were involved. And I didn't even know I saw something about the death penalty. I didn't even know that New York had the death penalty on the table unless they're gonna put them somewhere where they can allow them to do it. But this is very interesting. It's a very long-awaited update, especially for a case that people had long forgotten about. And I'm gonna be quite honest, a lot of people, myself included, have forgotten all about it because they just stopped talking about it after a while. But I am glad that they have been captured, or they have been found out to be the ones that was responsible for this man's murder. Even after all these years, because when it comes to cases involving black people, a lot of times they'll let it go cold and you'll never hear of it ever again. And it did go cold, but they did end up coming to some kind of a resolution.